All right, so this morning I'm going to show you how to make a very basic racing game in Construct 2. So the first thing we want to do is create a couple cars. So let's just double click. I'm going to create a sprite. And just for fun, I'm actually going to just grab a car image. Let's see, top-down car. Now in your game that you're handing in, I want you to create your own artwork, but just for this example, I'm going to be grabbing one of these. How about this one here? Oh, that has like a watermark on it. Oh, this one here. Okay, so just going to save that to desktop. I'll call it yellow car. Okay, there it is. Okay, and usually I recommend cropping it. This one is already pretty well cropped, so it didn't really make a difference. Also, maybe we can actually scale this, because this is kind of big. So let's make this like, I don't know, 200. Actually, hang on. So 200 by 100 would probably be good. There we go. And actually, I can scale it down further here. Okay, so I've got a car, and what you can do is go to behaviors and add a behavior, and just like platform and 8 direction, there is a behavior, a movement behavior called car. Okay, so let's see what happens when I add that on there. Okay, so now I can drive, I can turn, I can even go reverse. Okay, and that's just by adding that car behavior. You'll notice there is quite a bit of, I don't know what you call it, momentum, I guess. So I can adjust those settings in Construct 2 on the side here. So there's max speed, acceleration, deceleration, friction, drift recover, all these things. So you can definitely change that. The deceleration, if I make that 0, you'll see what happens. It'll be able to stop on a dime. Oh, actually, sorry. That's the opposite. If deceleration is 0, it has no deceleration. So it can't stop. Let's try this. There we go. So I set the deceleration up, so now he can stop a lot more quickly. Okay, so you can kind of play with those settings. I'm just going to leave it to be the default for now. Okay, so that's all you really have to put on your car. I mean, you can put scroll too if you like. And then the screen will follow your car. Okay, so now I want to make a track. And what you could do is, well, there's a couple ways you could do this. You could draw a track in an image program and then import that as background and then just make invisible blocks to make the boundary. So I could even do that as a, I guess as a wallpaper. Can I? Yeah. I don't want a tiled background. Let's go with, I guess I could go with Sprite. No, what's the size of this stage here? 1708 by 960. Okay, so you could do this in Photoshop or Illustrator or Flash, any program that you want, but I'm just going to quickly draw a track here. So why don't we do something like this? Okay, so there's my track, and I actually want to make a new layer for that. Oh, it disappears. Okay. In that case, what I'll do is I'll just change the Z order, send to bottom of layer. Okay, so let's say my start line's over here, just for fun. Okay, so you can see I've got a bit of a track. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking pretty good. The only issue being if I drive off the road, nothing stops me, right? So I can, completely leave the course. So the next step is to set up some boundaries. So I'm actually going to create a sprite. I'm just going to make it like a bright pink or something for now. And I'm going to set the initial visibility to be invisible. I'm going to set my boundaries with this pink block, but I don't want the player to see it because I want them to see the course, right? So I'm going to add a behavior here, make it solid. Okay, so basically what I want to do is arrange these in such a way that it blocks access to the black area. Okay, and they can overlap. It's not a problem because we're not going to actually see this sprite. Okay, so let's just test that out to see if it's working. Okay, so you can see my card is not able to go off the track now. Okay. I haven't set it up for this area, so of course I can escape. Okay, so this will take a little bit of time to sort this out. So I'm just going to pause the screencast, do the rest, and then continue. So what I've done is I've put the Sprite 3, which I should actually rename maybe wall. I've set a wall up on all of the areas that I don't want the car to access. Call this player 1. I'll call this track 1. Okay, so let's test that out. So basically, you can see if I try to go off the track, it's not going to let me. Okay, so I've got my basic car and track. Now, I'm actually going to make the car a little bit smaller because it seemed a little bit big on the track. That's better. And just for fun, I'm going to up the max speed to make it more difficult. Okay, now it's harder to do a perfect run. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is add a second player. So let's clone this. The clone actually goes into the project here. So this is called player 2. Oops. And I think it added player 2. I got to delete that layer. I don't want that layer anymore. Okay, and I'm just going to color this guy red. There we go. Okay, it would help to have them the same size. There we go. Okay, so right now, both players are using the same buttons to control. That's why I'm controlling them both. But what I want to do for this guy is say default controller, no. Okay, now I'm going to add my first events. I'm going to add them for player 2. And actually, before I do that, I have to add in the keyboard as an object. Okay, so I'm going to add some player 2 commands, and that's under that's under system, or keyboard rather. So on the keyboard event, I want to say when key is pressed. So that key would be up arrow, or sorry, W. And when W is pressed, I want to simulate control on the car to accelerate. Okay, and I'm just going to copy this 4 times. So I want to say when S is pressed, then we're going to brake. When A is pressed, we want to steer left. And when D is pressed, we steer right. And that didn't work. Let's try on key. Key is down. See if that works better. There we go. So sorry, I made an error there. It's not key is pressed. It should be key is down. So when the S key is down, oops. Okay, so we should have 2 working cars now. They're using different controls. And I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to show you in the next video very quickly how to add laps and how to add a winner and that kind of stuff.